So, let's start from the top. We're in New Hampshire, obviously. We had quite the adventure. Let's go from day one. So we woke up at 5 in the morning in Connecticut on Friday, dropped Cal off with Josh's parents and drove up here to do the Mount Franconia, not Mount Franconia, I'm so tired I can't even talk, Mount Lafayette Franconia Ridge Trail, which we did last year. And we got up here. How was the weather?
It was beautiful the whole way up, and then once we got within 15-20 minutes it started raining. By the time we made it to the parking lot it was pouring.
Like straight up pouring, and it was super cloudy, super foggy.
But it was only supposed to last an hour.
Didn't really think anything of it because we checked the weather and it was only supposed to last 1 hour, 2 hours tops, and it would have taken us 3 or 4 just to get to the top anyway. So we were like, okay, let's just power through it. By the time we get to the top, it'll be fine.
It wasn't fine.
It was not fine. So we started hiking up, and this mountain is no joke. It's a hard hike. It's rated hard. Say hello.
Hello.
Josh.
Hello.
Sean. Hello. Jenna. We're vlogging all day.
Oh, we're vlogging. We're gonna post all day. Vlogging. Oh, God.
Sean, give them the rundown. What's happening?
Get a rundown. Okay, we just started. We're about 2 minutes in the hike. I just tried to go to the bathroom. It didn't happen. It's gross in there.
And what's happening?
What's happening? Well, it's raining. I brought the worst hiking. Oh, shoot! I brought the worst hiking shoes ever. See, want to see them? No traction.
All right. Going up. It was supposed to be 10 miles.
9.
A little over 9 miles. And last year we did it in 6 hours. This year it was 13 miles. And we did it in how many hours? 8 hours. So, I feel like we're moving fast, no?
I almost gave up back there, but
I'm glad you powered through it, Sean.
I had to power through. Look who I'm following. Jeez.
I'm so high at the moment. I'm so caught up in this. Yeah, we're just
We're 4 miles in and 10,000 steps in. And it's 12 o'clock, so 2 hours in. And we're tired, but we're cruising. How are you feeling?
Yep.
So we got to the top just fine. There's nobody else on the trails. We saw one other couple, and I think they went back down the same way they came up, which is probably the smartest move that they made. We should have followed them.
Yeah.
But we got up just fine. I'll insert some footage here for you guys to see us climbing up to the top.
We made it. We're at the top. We're in space. We're in space. We are on the top of the moon. Okay, coming live for the second time. The third time. For a third time from Mount Lafayette. 4 survivors, babe. So since we made it up here, what was your favorite part of the hike and why?
That was the question you asked.
Okay, what was your favorite part of the hike? Still not the
Being
question.
together with everybody.
Okay, that's so cute. What was the most difficult part of that? That wasn't the question. I know, what was the most difficult part of the hike?
The home stretch
The home stretch.
to the top of the mountain.
Great, I really like how you put that in words. Now, Josh, what was the most difficult part of the hike, Josh?
Climbing up, my legs are shot. Can't feel them.
You reiterated what fucking Jenna said.
Well, that's my answer. I have to say.
I agree.
Back to me, the most difficult part of the hike was the home stretch. Because that's all we remember, right?
But the easiest part was when we saw those people, because then we get that person.
Yeah, because Alessandra's so freaking competitive. She's like, we gotta beat him. And we beat him.
Are they up there?
They're
right next to us.
They're like, what are these rocks talking to?
So last year when we did this hike, it was a perfect day. It was a little bit windy up top, but it was gorgeous. You could see the views. I had some cramping. We would stop a couple times. I'd massage my legs, be good to go. Throw down a banana, throw down a Gatorade, stay hydrated. So I expected it. But what I didn't expect was what we got.
Alright, we're on the move. It's freezing. What temperature do you think it is?
36, 32 degrees.
30s for sure.
So when it was raining on the bottom, that was a good indicator that it was going to be terrible on the top.
Which was mistake number 1.
So if you haven't been to Mount Washington, you probably can't really describe it perfectly, but it's basically like a hurricane on top of a mountain. Because it's always windy, but when it storms,
And it wasn't even that it was raining that hard, but it was just because the wind was so strong.
And you couldn't see. You
You
were
couldn't
inside of a
see
cloud.
anything. So there's no view at the top. So
No view.
the
You
thing
couldn't
we
see
were
in
looking
front of your
forward
face.
to was not there.
Nothing to motivate you because you're looking around and you're just in a cloud. So wind's ripping us. I think on a regular day, it's like 70 miles an hour winds up there.
It had to
And
be
It was like 80 to 100. It must have been.
at least.
And you're 4,000 feet up, so that's why the wind is so crazy. So can't see, can't hear, can't really breathe because you're at the high altitude and the wind is ripping in your face. And I start getting the muscle cramps.
What?
Your legs warm?
Are they warm? They're fine. They're cramping. They're warm. My hands are freezing.
You know what? Alessandra, let's see the camera. The worst part of the hike was that. Josh, shut up! Worst part of the hike.
Damn hiccups.
This is
Josh has had hiccups for how long? Like
a half hour.
At least a half
Right when we
hour.
got
Since lunch.
going.
Yeah.
That sucks.
Since that Subway cookie.
No, it was
right?
those olives, dude.
It was the
Those
cookie.
olives.
So the muscle cramps start kicking in. And it's fine, it's manageable, doing the same thing we did last year. So like, all right, once we start going down, it'll be a lot better. We get to the first peak, it's tough. Get to the second peak, we're okay. Third peak, getting through it.
We made it.
That was very hard. That was one of the hardest things I've ever done.
That was up there with Mount Washington.
Hit the fourth peak. This is a 3-peak hike. Get to the fourth peak, really starting to cramp up. Get to the 5th peak, I can't walk.
And at that point, we
realized
realized
there were 3 peaks, and you take a
we
left on
messed
the 3rd
up.
peak.
we
Well,
messed up bad.
She thought we were supposed to go left. We didn't see a trail to the left, and I just thought it was one loop. So we kept following straight on that loop, which would take you through the rest of the mountain range.
So if we took the left where I said, we would have been fine, probably. His legs were cramping up, but we would have been going down.
in the right direction, we would have
We
been fine. There's a
just
hut.
kept going straight. And it was still the terrible weather. It probably even got worse as we kept going.
Oh, it definitely got worse.
And that's when Josh's legs literally like locked up.
So on the way back, it was every 2 minutes I had to stop, not because it hurt, but because my legs literally would,
They would
when they
straighten.
cramped, they just straightened up and I couldn't move them. So we regrouped, gathered ourselves with Sean and Jenna, kept actually surprisingly very positive mindset through the entire thing.
I don't know how we did that.
But
I almost cried 3 times.
She did. So as I can't move and I'm thinking I'm going to die on top of this mountain,
He
I'm
had to
trying to
keep
make her
me
feel better.
calm down a little bit. And like Josh said, like the air was so thin and like the wind was so hard that you just felt like you couldn't breathe. So even though my mind was already freaking out, throw not breathing on top of that, I was like 2 seconds away from having a full-blown panic attack. So
I'm leaning on Sean, coming back a
thank
mile
God
or 2 extra.
Sean was there. If we did this alone,
I'd still be on top of that mountain.
we'd like I don't know what we would have done.
She wasn't carrying me.
There was no way.
So I'm leaning on him. We go back another mile or 2 back to the 2 peaks we were supposed to be at. And then we start making our way back downhill. And once it was going downhill, I'm still cramping and it was still crazy, but I could get myself there. But on the way back up, the bad one was one of my legs completely locked up. I thought it was going to break my femur. Locked my leg up, kicked it out. I fell off a rock,
And
spun down the
rolled.
rock, and was just laying face down in the grass on top of this mountain in the middle of this storm.
Sean and Jenna went up a little bit in front of us. He falls and is rolling like off the side of this mountain, and I'm like ready to just, I don't know, fall to the ground and cry and pray. But so he's laying face down. I'm trying to massage his leg, and no kidding, like his leg was hard as a rock. It was the weirdest thing I've ever felt in my life. Like I couldn't bend his leg. It just wasn't moving. So we took a few deep breaths. That's when Sean came and helped us. Finally got back to the sign where we took the wrong turn and started going down. And from that point on, it got a little bit better. We made it to the hut. We made it to like a little camp hut.
Thank God.
We'll talk about what's going on after, but
How's my hair?
it looks cute.
Is it great?
Yeah. We were like so grateful to see these people, and there was cookies. And then it started raining harder on the way down. We ended up finishing a few hours after that, thank God. By 5:15 we were down.
Sprinting out of the woods
Before dark. Like,
at dusk.
it was a miracle. Alright, we made it.
Barely. Did we make it?
We made it.
Are you sure?
Wow, the best thing I've ever seen in my life.
Fucking vehicle that moves.
So that was fun. It was supposed to be like the best hike ever, and it was last year, but it just goes to show how much Mother Nature and weather conditions can make or break a hike.
Probably never do the hike again. I was excited for it. We'll
Lesson
never do it again.
learned. Well, we might have to do it again, like on a day we know is going to be clear,
It was supposed to be clear. It was supposed
so
to be a good
that
day.
we don't have this bad taste in our mouth about it, but it was rough. But we're alive, and we're very grateful for each other and for warm showers in our car.
Cal.
And Cal.
Made it to day 2. Day 2 was awesome. Rented UTVs.
So much fun.
Just a couple hours exploring. Went around a lake. Just ripping through the trails for a couple hours.
And it's really true.
So all in all, very good family trip. Good weekend. Good
Lots of
friends. Good
lessons
people.
learned. We had fun. So if you come to New Hampshire, just make sure that if you're doing a big hike like that, check the weather. I mean, we checked the weather, but ensure that it's a clear day like it is today. And
Have a backup plan when it's not.
have a backup plan. Turn around when you get to the top and realize that this
Or don't go to the top.
is awful. Or if it's raining at the bottom and it's cloudy at the bottom, it's just going to be worse at the top. So be smarter than we were, but it was one for the books. But we'll catch you guys in the next video. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed it, and be smart when you get out on the trails.
Young, dumb, broke high school.